have both the Democrat and Republican parties betrayed you, the American people, not representing you and the interest of you, the American people? Yes, they have, and you know it. What is the solution? When both parties are not working for you, but working for the interest of the super rich, various special interest, powerful money people who pay for the election and re-election campaign of the corrupt Democrats and Republicans, with a few notable exceptions like Thomas Massey of Kentucky. What can we do about this? The system is broken. Well, there's a solution. You can stop funding them. You can stop giving them your money. But let's talk about the problem more right now, and then we get to the exciting solution on how, when the ballot box voting is not working, you can vote with your pocketbook by keeping your money, not funding these crooks and criminals legally and safely, and get your country, America, back at the same time. Look at this tweet by Elon Musk. He posted June 30th of this year. It says the obvious thing. He says it is obvious with the insane spending of this bill, this supposed big, beautiful bill that was passed by Congress, which increases the debt ceiling by a record $5 trillion, that we live in a one-party country, the Porky Pig Party. That's right. Like pigs at the trough, just borrowing and spending on behalf of the powerful special interests out there. So let's look at this little couple clips I'm going to show you. This is from Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of the few good ones out there in Congress, who actually cares about her oath to uphold the U.S. Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic, wants to work for you, the American people. Let's see what happened to her during this thing in Congress, which was May 8th, 2024. Look at all these congressmen just hanging around, disrespectfully, not even sitting around, while she's addressing the uni-party. Democrat Republicans are, most of them are basically the same. Here we go.
I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows. Declaring the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives to be vacant. This is the uni-party for the American people watching.
Gentlelady will suspend.
Yep, that is the uni-party. Democrats and Republicans united together, not working for you, but working for the powerful special interests with money that pay for them to get elected into office. That is called the uni-party. They also call them the Republicans and Republicrats, the same. Let's see a little bit more what she has to say, how it happens here.
Order.
They're so disrespectful of her. The person, the speaker in place, has to keep everybody be quiet. Come on, guys. Give her respect. Listen to her. You don't care about her. You think she's crazy because she doesn't want you, but you got to let her talk at least, right?
Order. The gentlewoman from Georgia is recognized.
Whereas the House Republican Conference elected Mike Johnson on October 25th, 2023, after 3.5 weeks of trying to decide.
Stopped.
on a new Speaker of the House.
Mr. Speaker, the House is not in order.
House will be in order. Gentlewoman from Georgia is recognized.
Whereas Mike Johnson sent the Republican conference a letter making promises as to what type of speaker he would be and outlining his plans going forward, Mike Johnson put forth 7 tenets that would guide the conference under his speakership. Restore trust by ensuring total transparency, open processes, and regular order.
Yep. You see, we had enough of that corrupt Biden woke communist regime that wanted to take your free speech. They wanted to impose as much socialism as possible, bring all the immigrants illegally to America, and for them to vote for their host party, the Democrat Communist Party, just like they did to California. They wanted that to be done throughout the whole 50 states nationwide. They pushed their nonsense, crazy LGBTQ plus the nonsense that a man can claim he's a woman and vice versa just because your mind thinks so. That we ended. They forced corner shots on you as much as they could push you with the corrupt media. That ended. But we got Trump. But what's happening right now? But see, Trump is not in power. Congress is in power. They're the ones that make laws, okay? And Trump cannot pass anything that into law that Congress doesn't allow him to sign on in the first place. So that is the uni-party that we're discussing. Now, let's go to the next clip. This is the end of this conversation or speech she had, Marjorie Taylor Greene, at the Congress, and see what she has to say, which is enlightening as well.
Whereas our country is nearly $35 trillion in debt, and about $40 billion are added to the debt every day. Our border is overrun by illegal invaders and terrorists from over 160 countries. Our people are being killed by the hundreds every single day by fentanyl, and Mike Johnson refuses to do anything about it. Whereas Mike Johnson is ill-equipped to handle the rigors of the job of Speaker of the House and has allowed a uni-party, one that fuels foreign wars, tramples on civil liberties, and increases our disastrous national debt, to take complete control of the House of Representatives. Whereas Speaker Johnson's tenure is defined by one self-serving characteristic, when given a choice between advancing Republican priorities or allying with the Democrats to preserve his own personal power, Johnson regularly chooses to ally himself with Democrats. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives
Gentlewoman will suspend. The House will be in order. Gentlewoman's recognized.
Resolved that the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives is hereby declared to be vacant.
Okay, so basically what? $35 trillion in debt because the House of Representatives, Congress, in 1913 sold us out and gave the control of the money of this country to a privately owned cartel of international banksters that own the Federal Reserve System. Yes, the Federal Reserve banks, the Federal Reserve System is privately owned, is not by the government. The money that you see, you use in your pocket, I'm going to give you as an example. This stuff you carry around, this says Federal Reserve notes, and guess what? It's private bank notes. It's not the government that creates this money. They just sold to the banks for 2 cents printing costs. So $35 trillion, the whole system is corrupt since back then and is getting worse and worse. Speaker of the House Republican Johnson works against Marjorie Taylor Greene, works against all the good patriots out there, like Thomas Massey, against you, the American people. Because he has to go with the swamp, work with the Democrats to pass a law despite a few good Republicans standing up for you, the American people, for your rights and for your freedoms. Now, here's the interview of Thomas Massey. I think you found pretty interesting about this swamp and how we got to defund this crooks.
Here's my question. Is anybody representing the people anymore? Because it kind of feels like, it used to feel like the parties were against each other, and now it feels like it's the government versus the people. That's what it feels like.
I think it is. I mean, I call it the uni-party. Last year, Marjorie Taylor Greene and I introduced a resolution to oust Mike Johnson. After Mike Johnson put a bill on the floor and was the tie-breaking vote to send more money to Ukraine, after he passed another omnibus, after he passed another bill to spy on Americans, using mostly Democrat votes, because a lot of Republicans are waking up to that and didn't vote for it. After he did like 3 or 4 really bad things, Marjorie and I put a resolution on the floor.
Which you think are bad things, right?
I think they're bad things.
Okay.
Spying on Americans, sending all the money to Ukraine. Yeah, I think they are. I think they're not Republican priorities. And he's a Republican speaker. So we put a resolution on the floor to vacate the speaker's office. And
what does that mean? To get a new speaker?
Get a new speaker.
Okay.
And typically no Democrat will vote for that. And if he doesn't have enough Republicans to sustain that vote, he will lose and you get a new speaker.
Why would no Democrat vote for that?
Well, for the first time in history, they did. Like, they did vote to keep Mike Johnson because it was as good as they've ever had it. They were getting everything they wanted.
You believe he was helping their party?
Yeah, he was helping their party, so they kept him in power. So it is really hard to change things. You can occasionally get people to try, but the consequences of trying and losing can be great. Like, they call up all the lobbyists and say, quit giving money to that member of Congress. They'll call up donors in your district. They'll call up constituents and have constituents call you up. Or the new thing recently is to fund social media campaigns. The NRCC, National Republican Congressional Committee, they spend money on Twitter influencers who then do things against who knows what. I mean, they're directing them. That part isn't transparent, but it's directed toward me, for instance. Our own party is coordinating efforts against me.
Well, then at that point, that's what I'm saying. There's a party it's them against you,
which is okay. I've got a thick skin,
right? But I'm just saying it feels like it's you guys are playing this game, but it's all against the voter. None of it is for the voter anymore. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like it feels like, I don't know. It just feels like it's the voter against the politicians, and it just starts to feel really, really scary for sure.
Yeah, that's right. It's the politicians, the government, and the lobbyists. Special interest money, the crooks that buy the politicians, is them against you, the American people, the voter. That's what's going on in America right now. And Trump is trying to oust Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene because they're the few good guys exposing this corruption that's going on out there. Rather than Trump saying, hey, Thomas Massey is right, Marjorie Taylor Greene is right, we should have more congressmen like them. Unfortunately, he sides with that swamp and says, we got to get rid of Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, now I got one more clip about this situation that you're going to find quite interesting. Let's continue with this one now.
But the biggest, I'll tell you right now, this would be 50% of solving the problem. It's not a silver bullet, but it's a lot of it. Get rid of the giant bills, okay? The omnibus bills, the continuing resolutions, and even the big, beautiful bill. Why not put that shit on the floor one at a time?
I agree.
And then that way, you can go to your representative or your senators and say, why did you vote for that? Right now, they can say, well, Theo, I had to vote for it. I had a pay raise for soldiers, right? They literally will put a pay raise for soldiers in every freaking bill, giant bill, so that if you vote against it, You have to go back home and watch TV ads that say he voted against a pay raise for the soldiers.
Right. Even though he may have voted for 90 other amazing things on the bill, right?
Right.
And that was one thing that was tied in there, that if you went this way,
Yeah.
It may have been like oxygen for grandmothers, right?
Literally, there probably is that in there.
But if you vote for oxygen for grandmothers, then they're not going to give. So I see what you're saying.
I voted against oxygen for grandmothers so many times they can't even run that ad anymore. It doesn't even seem real.
Has there ever?
Yeah. So what they're doing is the same thing that was done in the former communist Soviet Union. Yes, Russia used to be owning Ukraine, a bunch of countries around it in the Soviet Union until 1991. And they had a Congress there, but the government would just put the bill through, and the Congress would say, that's it, we approve. They just rubber stamped what was put before them. So we adopted that from communist regimes in America right here. Well, rather than saying, here, bring the bill, let's see, do you want to spend money on this? Let's take a vote on that, yes or no. Do you want to spend money on this? Let's discuss it. Put it to a vote, yes or no. Every spending should be coming as a separate item before Congress, for Congress as representatives of people, and the Senate as representing the states would discuss, and then one at a time approve or disapprove them. That was the case throughout the late 1700s, 1800s, and much of 1900s. Many decades ago, they start changing that. Now it's become standard. Take it or leave it. And as you said, they always insert something important to the voters in the bills. So if you don't vote for that whole package of pork-laden corruption, they say in the next election campaign, they advertise, Thomas Massey voted against pay raise for soldiers, voted against veterans, voted against saving grandma's lives, stuff like that. That's the uni-party. They're working together to benefit them and their lobbyists, big money special interests. So what can we do about this thing? What's the solution? Well, the solution is actually not as hard as you think it is. It's much easier if you recognize your power by going to our website. Go to freedomlawschool.org. You can restore freedom by taking the 7 steps to regain your power and freedom. Yep. You'll never again voluntarily pay the Washington, D.C. swamp, the uni-party, legally and safely, and if you choose, with a guarantee. You have a choice. You could vote with your pocketbook, I meant to say, okay? How do you do it? Well, when you go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, you see 7 steps bar here. Click on the 7 steps bar, and that takes you right there to the page. You scroll down, okay? It says step 1 is the first step, follow the law. This is doable, folks. I've done it for over 30 years. Much of this process has been perfected now. I started back in 1992. I have not filed and paid income tax to the swamp, to the uni-party for over 30 years. IRS has not taken $1 from me. I haven't filed. They know me. I've been to court with them. They come after me, try to harass me because they want me to stop talking. They want to curtail my free speech to educate and wake you up. They want me to quite reach into you and empower you to live free. They want you as a slave, just tax-paying slave. Cost of food is up. Housing is up. Much more than your wages and income. They don't care. They want 20 to 30% or more of your money going to their pockets and their powerful special interests that pay for the election campaign of the politicians. I've stood up to them when all his hair was black hair. If I did it, you can do it. I'm an immigrant from Iran, came here at age 14 in 1977, And I found that America's not a land of the free, the home of the brave anymore. I said, let's do something about it. For you to be free and brave, you got to be educated. That's why I started with the law. I'll show you in our videos here that based on the official legal websites of U.S. government, no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income taxes. Absolutely none. I'm going to make it a little bigger for you guys to see it easier, okay? You got to start with that. And the law, first I showed the IRS's 1040 form, the 1040 form instructions, U.S. Treasury regulations, laws passed by Congress of the United States, signed by President, and the U.S. Supreme Court decisions. That's all I rely on to show you that you are not required to file and pay income taxes. The video covers it, okay? And the brochures are right here. You can print them out or download them or share them with people on these golden tabs. And these brochures also look like this. Fast track your success, legal and safely, pay no income or payroll taxes, okay? With the guarantee if you want, restore freedom. And in 12 pages, it includes with what? Conclusion is no law requires 99% of Americans to file or pay federal income taxes. $50,000, anybody can show me wrong anything I say about all this. Okay, so that's step one. Step two that you got to go to is get rid of this myth that if you don't file income tax, you're going to be in big trouble. You're not. What gets you in trouble is sign those 1040 income tax confession forms. You got to stop giving IRS the rope that you put around your neck by signing those 1040 forms. Okay? That's the second thing you need to do. Because when you do that, you literally are admitting that you owe the IRS money that you don't owe in the first place. Okay? Now, step three is what? Don't be afraid because IRS is bluffing you to be afraid. With the help of the corrupt mainstream media, the Wizard of Oz, be afraid of the IRS. If you don't file, you go to prison. And your accountancy, big tax attorney are part of the problem. They have been miseducated to deceive you, to file those 1040 forms and confess that you owe the IRS money when you don't owe them nothing to begin with. If you are a citizen or resident of the 50 states, you don't have to pay income taxes. But all your life, you've been brainwashed. So was I. To pay income tax, be a slave, file a 1040 form, through fear, telling you pay your taxes, file early, stress, panic, repetition of the lies. Okay? So in step three, you will realize that the IRS is only bluffing you. Once that bluff is over, you will realize, yes, the IRS will not come after you when you don't file. They come after filers who confess to the IRS money, and there's about 80 plus million non-filers that the IRS leaves alone. Yes, 80 plus million non-filers, according to the IRS's best estimates of themselves. Okay? Step four, you're going to see, look, IRS is just a lizard. Toothless, fireless lizard. Not the Godzilla that major media have painted in your head along with your CPA accountant and tax attorney. Okay? Ignore them. Because I've been the IRS myself. My students, none of my students who've come to Freedom Law School clean without a pre-existing problem of any kind, stop filing income tax with Freedom Law School, has ever gone to prison for federal income taxes, not paying them. IRS never levied their bank account, paycheck, or seized their home or business. Never. I've done this program now for over 23 years. Step five is don't have to pay tribute to them, the IRS. Confront the lawmakers. Question authority. We write to our congressman about these issues. Our petitions have the law in them, quoted, listed, attached. We tell the congressman, show me where I'm wrong, I'll pay my fair share of taxes. Otherwise, you do your job, Congressman. You stop the uni-party as swamp from ripping off the American people. It's your job, it's your duty, and I'm instructing you to do your job unless you can show me wrong. How many congressmen have shown us wrong so far? All these decades? Not even one. Because we are right. So, all this you can do on your own. Stop paying the uni-party. Stop funding your enemies. Enrich your family. And we can now fund election of good people to represent us, like Thomas Massey, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, that represent you, the American people, not the lobbyists, okay? Not the people with money. So, but people still say, Pavon, I want to do more. I want to be actively be part of the solution. I want to take our country back. Look, the Russian people took the country back from the communists back in 1991. That corrupt empire collapsed of its own corruption. So was this empire. So you can take part in restoring America to freedom if you choose. If you have a spirit of America's founding fathers in you, which I know you do. If you're watching this program, you have the spirit of freedom like America's founding fathers in you. And just like them, you can get together and restore freedom. Not a revolution. We don't need a revolution, okay? We could do it peacefully. Just restore America to its roots of freedom. No need for violence. We have the right to bear arms. Keep your powder dry. We can do it all peacefully, okay? And by joining hands together, you can enjoy, in addition, 100% guarantee when you legally stop filing and paying income taxes. Yes! You can legally stop filing income taxes by following our information. Remember, the only people that got to pay income tax are primarily people who are citizens and residents of D.C., Washington, D.C., not the people of the 50 states. Okay? So once you know that, and like I teach you in the law, you'll be free if you just educate yourself. And as long as you remain a member of the Restore Freedom Plan, through our association, we'll prevent the IRS from levying your money by following the law, by imposing a law on them, defend your rights, and we'll reimburse you in case they take your money ever with a levy or seize your home or property. And you will not go to prison either, because we have a record of we are following the law. They're the crooks, not us. So it's all there. And I implore you folks to please go ahead and share this information on our website, freedomlawschool.org, with your family members, with your friends and coworkers, anybody you know. Tell them the truth. Arm them with the law. The American people are waiting for you to share Freedom Law School's message of freedom, restoring freedom with them. So now we can truly restore freedom and greatness for America, and we'll pay you for that if you choose to do so. So love and spread the truth is my last suggestion to you. So here it is, folks. Simple. Go to freedomlawschool.org. As you drive around, listen to our videos while you watch the road, at lunch or dinner. Watch it now, the video one more time, to make sure you understand it. Boom. You'll be free. Defund the uni-party. Fund your family. Catch up with your debts. Have saving investments. Have a better life. And together, restore freedom in America at the same time. Okay, everybody. Now I'm ready to get to your questions. We have 5 callers waiting to get the questions answered every Tuesday night. I'm here to answer your questions about restoring freedom, restoring prosperity to you and your family, make America great again. This is a true way to make America great again, by having you keep your money, not going to corrupt uni-party out there. Okay? And I got some questions people ask online. You can send up to 10 pages of paperwork. I'll review them for free on the Freedom Hour. I normally charge $1,000 an hour for my time because I'm so busy. So that's why I take advantage. Freedom Hour, send your question by text, documents, or better yet, call, and I'll be happy to help every one of you get your questions answered to be free. Let's see if we get a call from area code 720 first. Then a call from area code 458. Followed by a call from area code 925. And then another call from area code 615. Okay? Okay, we're going to go to everybody one at a time. Call from area code 720. You're first. Please, every one of you, before you ask your question, give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Paymo. Thank you so much for this informative talk here. My name is Ben. I was directed to you by a dear friend, Willie, and it's just very enlightening and very hopeful based on this information. I filed an ROE, a revocation of election, in 2023, and for the most part have been not bothered by the IRS too much. But yesterday we got a 725B form. It's the REV 122024 form.
Hold on. Don't give me those letter numbers. I don't memorize those codes. Tell me what the heading of the letter in the top left big print says.
It's in a letter of appointment, essentially. Like they want to meet with us to talk about unfiled taxes for 2023, 2024.
Oh, so, a letter by the IRS saying, hey, Ben, thank you for raising your hand. Saying, hi, I'm all those patriots, freedom lovers, out of all income tax. I'm divorcing you. I'm flagging myself so you can choose to come after me and nail me. Those patriots who are good people for freedom, so you can make an example out of me. Make me a slave again, or make an example. We got Ben, his head on this chopper. See, don't be like Ben. Don't stand for your rights. Otherwise, you become a victim of us, like Ben. So that's what happened. Your revocation of election, which somebody misled you to do, I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault. People, offer a lot of nonsense out there. That's what led to this letter by the IRS saying, oh, let's meet and talk. Let's make you a slave again. We need you to file those 10 for income tax slavery confession forms. On your own, please tell us that you owe us money and give us part of your hard work and labor, because the swamp, the DC uni-party really needs your money badly more than you, and it's your duty to fund us. So that's what happened here. So you have a real agent, looks like. Is the letter signed by a real human being?
Yes.
Yes. So the solution to this bad problem that someone got you in, believe it or not, is to ignore this letter. Let me ask you, who got you and how they got you into doing this nonsense, revocation of election? Because you never elected to be a slave to revoke this election in the first place. It was just false premise to begin with. I'm curious how they got you into this. How got you to doing this?
Well, we got hooked up with the Great Tax Remedy.
Tax Remedy is organization name?
Yeah, it's like the Great American Tax Remedy.
Who got you to them?
Essentially, they...
Did you come across them online? How did you get them?
Yeah, it was pretty much online, and we had a friend recommended it who's done it. and felt that this was the path that ultimately, when you look at the frivolous arguments, there's no, that the IRS sends, there's no mention of a revocation of election. And so we were kind of under the impression that that was the way to do it versus just not paying. But sounds like it may not have been.
Right. Okay, I'm just curious. Yeah, because, by the way, I've done seminars on this on this topic of revocation of election. It's the common patriot mythology, which is nonsense, which is baseless legal theories are out there. It's completely utter nonsense. They misread the law. And so I'm gonna go on the search, see on our YouTube channel or Odyssey, and typing revocation, and I've done on this topic a specific video, break it down to you, revocation or election. Oh, on YouTube, on Odyssey we have it. We got to put it on YouTube, all this stuff also. Okay, we got to work on that. Okay, on Odyssey channel on our website we have it, but we're going to work on YouTube also. So anyhow, so now at this point it's very simple. Just ignore the letter. It's no different than someone saying, Ben, I have an appointment with you midnight Saturday night in your bedroom. What? Who are you? Who gave you the authority, the audacity to claim that you made an appointment in my bedroom on Saturday night at midnight? This IRS agent has no authority to make an appointment with you. Just ignore them. That's what I would do. At this point, that's the best option available. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
No, I think that answers it.
Very good. Now, meanwhile, go study our 7 steps to be free of the IRS swamp on at freedomlawsuit.org. Listen to it and watch him at home at lunch or dinner. Remember, guys, use that dead driving time to listen, put knowledge in your brain, and then when having lunch or dinner, you can watch it and say, oh, yeah, verified. It's all true. Verification is when you see it. Okay, but you expose while you drive. All right, let's go to the 458 area code caller, my friend. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Yeah, hi. My name's Steve from Oregon. I heard about you through Mike King. We love Mike King. We watch him on the internet all the time and read his books. Mm-hmm. Fantastic information.
Yes.
Been here for years. I gave you my history in that I married a U.S. citizen and I'm applying for citizenship myself. I had a business in the U.K. and it went bankrupt during COVID through bad management in the UK. And so I nearly lost everything. It's a very narrow squeak that we still got our house and everything. But then I've got a pension and it grew quite a bit in the UK and I've cashed it in to get the money into the US and invest it. But I paid interest on this pension in the UK. And now the people who got the pension, who did the pension for me, told me that I have to apply to the IRS to get my tax money from the UK back. And I've got the forms to do it, but I haven't filled in a tax form in the US for many years because I didn't really trust it. I didn't like the IRS. They gave me conflicting advice and they seemed like they were tying themselves in knots and they were tying me in knots. So I ignored it and paid my tax in the UK, company tax and private tax.
Hold on, Steve, hold on.
I'm just asking.
Hold on, you can ask me a question right now. I know what you're asking. Your situation is very unique.
Yeah.
Okay, you need a private one-on-one consultation, my friend. And with myself, not even my assistants, that I've trained to do most consultation for $300 an hour. You needed one with me, unfortunately, with $1,000 an hour because you talk about international treaties between England and the United States. And what you got with England and the United States. So I do know about international treaties, by the way. I've studied international treaties. American and a couple of countries. I got a book on the topic. You know, that's a very unique topic to get into, and this whole thing. So the only way I can really help you is by seeing all your paperwork, anything they've given you, your lawyers, accountants that's relevant, anything you have so as a starting point.
Yeah.
I mean, this might take us 2 hours because I may have to do some research on this stuff because this is not something I deal with every day. You know, imagine this is not an everyday type of thing.
Yeah.
But let me look at that, see what's going on. How much money are we talking about, roughly?
It's about $100,000 with the interest I'm trying to get back from the UK.
Okay. So basically, let me ask you, UK took your money, right? And now you want to use a treaty with the United States to get that money back, right? Then in that case, you got to work with
fill in, and I've already. Yeah.
Your problem is England. Your problem is England, not America. Your problem is kind of beyond the scope of what I talk about because England stole your money. You want to use the U.S. treaties, U.S. tax forms to get that money back. Well, I probably have to do that right now at this point because England got your money. The quick answer is yes. If a treaty with the United States and England would get some of your money back, use the treaty. So I would do that.
Yeah.
And then you get with me and freedom laws cannot pay income tax in America. Okay?
Yeah, I don't have an income in the UK, in America, but we're I've got the form for the UK that I'm supposed to send to the IRS, and I've filled it in to my best ability, but I'm not confident in it, which is why I'm getting advice, and I haven't filled in any returns for the IRS for so long. I don't have confidence that they'll help me properly.
Who told you that's what you have to do in the first place? Who told you have to fill out the IRS forms in the first place? Who?
Well, this is my pension company in the UK. They sent me the UK tax forms to fill in to send to the IRS in the US.
Well, let's start with that. Let me review that for you. If you want, I can refer to an attorney who also handles international law, and he can help you with this process.
Yeah. Okay. I'm booked in for a consultation already, but looks like I'll have to change it so I can have one with you.
Yes. I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'll phone them tomorrow.
All right, my friend. Thanks for calling. Could you fix this thing for me?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
All right. This is a very unique situation Stephen has. Not something that I would normally deal with. Very, very unique. But yes, let's give me a plug for Mike King.
Yeah.
Mike King is a great truth teller. RealHistoryandNews.com. Mike King, he's got a Rumble channel that's growing very fast because he's educating you about the truth about our history that's been kept from you, to keep you ignorant. Your knowledge of the past affects your present today, and he's exposing all the lies. So thank you for calling. I appreciate you, Steve. Let's go to 925 area code caller. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Yeah, my name is Jason, and I heard about you through Medical Rebel, Dr. Lee Merritt.
Yes. Very good. Very good. And how may I help you, Jason?
Well, I've been on the fence for this for quite a while. My biggest concern is with the lock-in letters. I've heard they're just randomly generated. Is that true, or does something trigger those?
Well, it's done some by IRS's secret, illegal algorithm they use to target some people to tell you employers, hey, employer, here's a gun to your head. We're threatening you. If you don't treat the person as single with zero allowances, to take a lot out of his or her paycheck. So now she's forced to file an income tax form to get some of that money back, even though he may be married with 4 kids. The employers say, okay, IRS, whatever you say, we're afraid of you. Don't audit us. An accountant says, CPA says, hey, man, don't mess with the IRS. Your IRS says jump, just ask how high, that's it. You don't want to mess with the IRS. The employee, who cares about him? He's nothing. He cannot hurt you. IRS can hurt you, so do what the IRS says. That's how it is. So what else would you like to know about this issue, Jason?
So it's just created by an algorithm that triggers the lock-in letter?
Yes.
Okay, because I was looking at my W-2 where I can see my current status, and my employer even has a little box down there at the bottom. It looks like they're just ready to check off that says lock-in letter.
No, there's no box for lock-in letter on the W-4 form. You fill out your job. There's no such thing. This is IRS's arbitrary letter. That's what that is. Do you have one right now? Did the IRS send you a lock-in letter?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have a really bad connection right now. I can't hear everything you're saying.
Did you receive a lock-in letter from the IRS?
No, I have not. I'm still filing. I haven't I haven't become a non-filer yet.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to forecast, what it may look like in the future.
Well, it is what it is. There's no forecasting. If it's going to rain next week or next month or next year, you can only forecast so much. The IRS does do some lock letters arbitrarily.
Suppose I sign up for the Restore Freedom plan in 2 years. Mm-hmm. They send a lock-in letter to my employer. Mm-hmm. So at that point, do I continue as a non-filer, and then they're just going to take the tax money from my paycheck?
That's a tough decision you can only make at the end. I cannot tell you what you should do because it's a tough situation. You leave your employer would be number one.
No, I'm not asking. I'm saying...
Well, I'm telling you, who do you work for? Is it a big corporation or small business or government? Who do you work for?
Oh yeah, it's a big corporation.
Yeah, so they'll.
If I receive that letter and and they take out the taxes from my check, then am I still a member at that point?
Yes, you can still be a member.
For being protected.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm still on the fence. I'm trying to convince my wife this is the best thing to do. So
we cannot stop the lock-in letter with corporations. That you cannot do, but we can still be a member. Okay, if you don't file with the IRS. As long as you don't file with the IRS, you be a member and protected. The only problem is the IRS is taking so much out of your money and ignoring that you're even married. We treat you as single, not even give you a marriage allowance as a status. And you have to file to get some of that money back. And for that year that you're forced to file, you cannot, that's all you can do. You can still be protected as long as you're a simple case. We'll still protect you. And we help you file it under duress. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. That's the best we can do in case that happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I had.
Okay. Thank you for calling, Jason.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, my friend. Before we go out to our next callers, area code 615 and area code 321 callers. And let's announce the number to call if you have a question. The number to call is 424-552-1299 and press 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, 424-552-1299 and press 1 on your telephone keypad if you have questions. Okay, 615 area code caller. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School. And then your question, please.
Yes, sir. I found you guys online. First of all, hey, Mr. Paymon, big fan of what you do. Thank you.
You're welcome. How do you reach us online? How did you find us? What source?
I was doing an internet search for tax support, and I stumbled across your broadcast, and then I saw you on InfoWars.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. All right, my friend. And how may I help you?
Yes. Yes, sir. So here's my question. So I am for 20 years out of high school, straight into the military and civilian life, I paid my W-2. And then about 6 years ago, I started my own business, just a small business. And I did a few years of that, and I didn't really know how to do the accounting and the management and all that. So it dissolved, but that's okay. I didn't file anything. Unintentionally, I came across your company a couple months ago in your teachings. It worked out in my favor because I had heard from someone that I didn't have to file for like 7 years. So I just never did until I got my books and everything right. But it worked out good because then I found your course and I'm like, oh my gosh, great. I don't know all these guys. This is great. So the last 2 years, I took a W-2 job for a small company to get cash flow coming in again. And so I could buy my own house, my first house. So everything is going good. I got my military pension. I got my 2 years of, house work history. And then we go to close on the house this Thursday. And my financial officer today says, I need to know about your business. And I said, well, I'm not using my business to pay for any of this, so it shouldn't matter. And he said, well, the fact is you don't need tax returns to qualify. I don't need those, but the mortgage lender just wants to have you confirm that you don't have some outstanding tax liability, or if you do, they need to document how much it is. So my question to you, Mr. Paymon, is if I haven't paid taxes for my business ever, and I've had some W-2 come out the last couple of years, which I didn't know about your program before that, to get this house purchased, what do I show my financial officer or tell him to give to the mortgage company about my personal and business tax history?
It's very simple.
Because I'm all on board.
It's very simple. All you got to tell them, I don't owe the IRS anything. And you don't. The IRS has never sent you a letter you owe them anything because you haven't confessed on a 1040 form that you owe the IRS money. And the IRS to come after non-filers has to go through an expensive legal process of sending you by certified mail a notice of tax deficiency that gives you a chance to go to a tax court, challenge the tax, and so much more. And they don't do that with non-filers. Vast majority of the time, so you owe them zero. Just tell them that. How do you prove a negative? You tell them, yeah, I don't owe the IRS nothing. That's all you got to do.
Okay. So what if they ask about my security job in the W-2? So I got to show them anything on that?
If they ask for a W-2, give a copy to them.
Okay. And then, forgive me, your response was a little choppy. It might be my phone. So when they say, let me see your filings for the W-2, I should just say I don't file?
I don't think they'll ask you at this point. You told me I don't file. That's true. I don't file tax forms. I use my W-2s. And some lenders will lend without a W-2. Most don't. They don't know how to do that. But a few smart ones know how to do it. But let me caution you. How old are you?
43.
Do you remember the 2008 Great Depression?
I do.
Would you ever buy a house if you knew it was 2006 or 2007? If you're buying a house in 2006 and 2007, somebody told you the 08 Depression's coming, would you buy a house?
At that time, maybe if I had the money, because the market was so a buyer's market, I believe.
No, you missed it. In 2006 or 2007, would you buy a house?
Hello?
Hello. Would you buy a house in 2006 or 2007?
Oh. No. Not
Okay.
at that time. No.
Well, guess what? It's 2006-07 right now. I studied economics in college. I was a financial planner for 6 years in my early 20s. I was studying Economics 101, this phony money system you got, the Federal Reserve and banking money with fractional reserve banking, ups and downs in prices, inflation, recession cycles. I predicted a Great Depression. Not exact timing, but I saw it coming. And it's come with, guess what? We're due for another one. So you're lucky you called me. Don't buy now. Save your money by gold, silver, crypto. We'll let the crash happen. The price is already going down in Florida and many other states. Okay, the economy's in bad shape. We're ripe for that Great Depression coming around the corner. Okay, so don't buy a house. Let that be excused to not close escrow. Unless you want to lose money. You want to lose $200,000 when the prices go down 40%? You could do that. All right, any other questions?
Well, I'm using, if I'm using the VA loan and I don't put down, does that change the situation at all?
Yeah, you're going to waste your VA loan because the prices will crash in a Great Depression. Why don't you save it when the prices crash?
In your experience and what you've studied, when do you predict it's going to be? Like, what do the patterns look like for when it'll crash? Or is that...
I'll give you an example. I was in economics class 101 back in 1980, 81 when I learned all this stuff. Economics 101, but most Americans don't take economics in college. Don't they? Okay? And it was very obvious the guy taught us that. They call it a business cycle, a money cycle. And so I saw, they talked about, we had in late 70s in the Carter, inflation, stagflation, early 80s, we had a recession, a bad one, a very bad one, early 80s under Reagan. Paul Volcker, head of the Federal Reserve, raised interest rates to 21%. Okay? So then we had recovery in 83 to 89. In 90, topped out in 80 or 90s, another recession. 91, 92, 93. Bush lost to Clinton because of bad economy. Then from 94, things started going up slowly, all the way to 2006. The couple of the dot-com bust early 2000 years, and after 9/11, that was a small little dip. But it went all the way up to 2006. Real estate prices flattened. 07, they started going down. April 08, crash. Bottomed out in 2012. It's the same cycle I'm seeing all over. Okay? Wow. Inflation, stagflation, recession. Okay? Go online, look it up. Business cycle, money cycle. It's all there. So it's going to happen. I don't know exactly when. In another maybe 6 months, year, maybe 2. The more they delay it, the more they play games like lower interest rates. When the fall comes, it'll fall harder.
Hello?
Hello, I'm here. It fall harder.
I'm so sorry. It's got to be my connection.
Yes, it is. Are any other questions, my friend?
No, that's it, Mr. Paymont. Thank you.
What was your name again, Bob? I didn't catch your name. What's your name?
Take care, sir. Thank you.
What was your first name? I didn't get your first name.
What was my what?
Your first name.
Oh, Daniel.
Daniel. Thank you for calling, Daniel. And I hope you research this issue, educate yourself before you buy the house. And the Great Depression is coming, okay? So thank you for calling. Listen, guys, I just cannot help Daniel help him. He hurt himself. I got to tell him the truth, okay? Like I said, economics was my background. I've seen the cycles. Don't buy a house. This is the time to sell your house.
Thank you, Mr. Paymont.
You're welcome. I've been telling people to buy gold and silver and crypto for several years, right? Gold was a couple years ago in 2000. It's about 4,300 now. Silver was about $25 about 2 years ago. Now it's over $60. Bitcoin a few years ago was 16, 20, 30,000. Went up to 122,000. Now it's about 90,000. Okay? Yes, the system is gonna. That's how the game goes. The money system, because our money is privately created by fraud, by Chase, Bank of America, Citi, okay, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, the banking system, the Federal Reserve, out of thin air. And this game is predictable, but they don't teach that to you in the public school system. The government schools, that's the problem. Okay? All right, thank you for calling, Daniel. We got 2 more callers. The first one shows as anonymous, and the other caller is area code 786 caller. So anonymous, area code caller, you know who you are, my friend? Give me your name, how you heard about us, and then your question, please.
Hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Dave. I heard about you from InfoWars.
All right. And how may I help you, Dave?
Not a tax-related question. More on my thought about the banks leaving cash. A lot of cash in the bank is not safe these days. The safety of the banks doesn't really give me the warm and fuzzies. I was wondering if you could share your thoughts on allocation percentages on crypto, gold, and cash, perhaps. And the phone line's kind of choppy, so I'll just listen to you off the phone line and on Rumble.
Well, it depends how much you have, because you got to have some cash reserves for emergencies. Car breaks down, okay, had an accident, you need dental surgery or cavities or crowns, so you got to have enough cash reserves to handle cash. Whether that's 5,000 or 30,000, it depends on you how much you make. But that doesn't have to be too much anyhow, because gold and silver are very liquid. Okay, you could just go to your local coin dealer and cash them in. Okay, and it keeps them in business, and they're there to bring you liquidity. And so between gold, silver, and crypto, silver has gone up more than gold because it was suppressed for a long time. Whether gold's going to go up more percentage-wise or silver, I don't know. Crypto, I don't know. No one knows exactly. But I do not like the fact that silver takes a lot of space to store and move around. So if you're low budget, get silver. Maybe a few thousand, maybe 10,000, maybe 50,000. But silver starts taking up too much space, okay, to store, carry around, to liquidate. So, but silver may go up more than gold. Gold takes a lot less space. So after getting some silver, I would say get gold. Okay? And then crypto, Bitcoin, of course, is the granddaddy of all of them. It's the most conservative, safest, least volatility. So Bitcoin would be your number one choice, like everybody gets into Bitcoin first. I personally prefer and accept Ethereum, because Ethereum has good features like you can make contracts with Ethereum and conduct that way. So it's number 2 crypto. So get some Ethereum, I would recommend. I happen to like XRP, also has a potential. It's more risk though with XRP. How long will it go up? And when it will go up, we don't know. We'll see. Maybe it won't go nowhere. So that's more aggressive. Okay. So I like Bitcoin the most. So it depends on your money, how much you got. So the less you got, you'll have bigger percent of cash, and then silver and gold and Bitcoin. But the more you got to maybe risk a little bit, you might maybe go to Ethereum and then maybe XRP. And the other cryptos, I really haven't seen anything that tells me, this crypto is very special. It's a wild west out there right now, crypto space. And thousands and thousands of crypto is out there. Okay? It's a wild west. You want to crap money, try something? Go ahead. I mean, I spent about 4 years ago. I put 1,000 into this crypto that went nowhere, but it was only 1,000. Okay, so it's like I thought, okay, I'll put 1,000 in it because my friend said it might do very well. It didn't. It did, So, but don't put much in the other ones. I recommend you go be safe. The Great Depression is coming. So between gold, silver, Bitcoin, one of those three is going to go up more than the other ones. So by diversifying into those three, I think you're going to be doing great with peace of mind and a pretty strong confidence rate. That's it. You can do well. Then you can buy things dirt cheap, just like an 08 Great Depression. Okay, 08 to 12, you can buy real estate, everything cheap at the bottom of the market. So be a renter right now and save if you can. Wait for the Great Depression to get deeper for a couple of years. It will get deeper. Like in 08, the market bottomed out. The Great Depression, 08, at 11, 12 was the bottom. At 12, at the 2012 solidified, started slowly going up. So something similar will happen. Coming up, how soon? I don't know. But no one, see, that's the thing I don't know about. Knows the exact timing of that. We know it's coming, but they can put it off and play games. So, but the signs are clear. We're definitely in the place where prices of real estate have not only stopped going up, not only they're not even flat anymore. They're starting to go down already many places across the country. So how that's going to go down more and crash, we'll see. Commercial real estate is in worse trouble than even home ownership, perhaps, because everything's going online. People are not going shopping at the mall anymore. Those malls and retails are closing because people are buying things more and more online at Amazon and other online places. So all those real estates they're going to crash. So hope that helps you, my friend. Glad to be of help. Anonymous caller. We got now 786 area code caller and a 682 area code caller. So 786 area code caller, give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
We got now 7.
Are you there?
Area code caller.
From area code 786?
Area code caller.
All right. The person is not there. We'll do next caller. After 682 caller we take right now will be the 559 area code caller. 682 area code caller, please give us your first name. How you heard about Freedom Law School. And then your question, please. Are you there? From area code 682, caller? Nope. He's not answering either. So we're going to move forward to the 559 area code caller. Give me your first name. I heard about us, and then your question, please. He disconnected? Okay. All right. We're going to go right now to some of your questions that you send in by sending me documents by mail, email. I'll go over those. Then we'll come back. Maybe the other callers will be there. 786 area code is 682. But the number to call, if you have a question, is on your screen, 424-552-1299 and press 1. 424-552-1299 and press 1. Okay, the first email, this is a guy from England. We took care of his question. He's smart, he's organized, intelligent, emailed, question, and called. So we took care of his question as far as we could by the call. We have a letter from Benson in Colorado. Notice of appointment. Oh, we talked about that, Benson. He did not tell me to send a letter also by email from Miss Morales who wants to talk to you. Well, Miss Morales has no right to come and make an appointment with you. So we took care of that. The letter doesn't matter. The form letter she sends out to you to make an appointment with you, which she has no right to impose on you. Now we got from Craig an email. Oh my God, this is a long email. 1, 2, 3 pages. That's a long email. Well, let's get to the other one first. We got, okay, Colette from New York got a, let's see, this is a IRS lock-in letter from the IRS. Okay. We send your employee a lock-in letter. We talked about this a little bit. So November 26th. So Colette, your employer does not have to do this. The employer can ignore the letter. But the employer is very afraid of the IRS unless you can talk to them. Unless we can help you talk to them. They'll probably steal from your paycheck, have you steal from your paycheck. There's no quick, easy answer. This is something we're going to take to court. What the IRS is doing here. Okay? So, I talked about a lock-in letter already. All right? And let's see now. So this person is a Craig. Let's go back to him, who heard about Phoenix Law School because of Corona hoax. Yes. Yep. And let's see, he came across Ted Gunderson giving a talk at our Freedom Rally. That's right, someone had that on Ted Gunderson from head of FBI LA Dallas offices was at my rally speaking back in 2002. And through that, he found Freedom Law School. Okay. And all the information on federal workers in a second video. Following the videos, conflicts with information. All 3 of the other videos. The 3rd and 4th video. So he's got a detailed questionnaire. You are a retired federal employee. Oh, you last filed IRS form in October 21 for your 2020. Okay. All right. Well, let's get your situation. And you got a request for tax return November 25 from California Filing Enforcement. They're very aggressive. Yes. So you may want to change where you live out of California. I recommend leave that communist, socialist state, one-party communist state. So if you can leave California, maybe you don't live there at all anymore. I don't know. But they cannot collect from you, California, unless your money comes from California. Okay? So you're good there. 3.5 years ago, you spoke with Kara and Darlene. Okay, you're a retired fellow worker, as you said. And let's see, you filed for an extension for 22. You're selling your house, escrow on the home you inherited with your dad 4.5 years ago in January 18. It has gone up in value. Sell it now. The market is at the top. Sell it now. Okay? There's a question escrow company that asks, are all of the household, everybody for tax purposes, U.S. citizens? Oh, you better join Restore Freedom Plan like yesterday, my friend. Because we need to educate the escrow company that you are not a U.S. citizen for tax purposes. In the Internal Revenue Code, Federal Tax Laws, the Bible, only people from Washington, D.C. are U.S. citizens for tax purposes. Okay? You are a U.S. citizen for nationality purposes, just like me, Thomas Jefferson, and George Washington. Okay? But we have to educate them about why they misunderstand the law. Okay? So that's what we got to do on that. You're not liable to pay income tax because you do not live in Washington. You don't work in D.C. So your retirement money is just fine. And on the video stuff that you said that we need to correct, I'll look into that. Thank you. We'll if any corrections, I'll correct those. Thank you for that. But about your situation, yes, you are a U.S. citizen for nationality, not for tax purposes. And California, Form 593, Again, all this closing escrow stuff, guess what? As a member, we can do the specialized custom work of your letters to the escrow company addressing the IRS and the state of California forms appropriately. I cannot answer that for you on the phone, okay? So let's see. What else you got here? All right. Let's see. You're asking a lot of questions, my friend. I don't know if I can answer all this stuff right now to read this right now online, okay? Yes, so I already answered your questions on the page 3. Okay. Should I stop federal income tax withholding? Yeah, you can. Why not? Should I stop state California income tax withholding? Maybe, maybe not. You got to call about this. I can't answer your question in full by not knowing whether you live in California or not. You don't just say. Do I have my fixed index annuity company stop issuing IRS Form 1099-R? Yes. If you can do that, do it. Why do I do with an Roth IRA and traditional IRA that I'm no longer contributing to? Do whatever you want with it. Leave it or take it out. It's your money. How about the federal government thrift savings plan? Okay. Again, do what you want with it. Okay. Your thrift savings plan is just fine. Do with it what you want. It is your money. You are good, Craig. You have a lot of questions. You may want to do a paid private consultation with one of my trained specialists. Doesn't have to be done with me, but you got a lot of detailed questions. They can ask you for more if you have any more questions, but I think I answer your questions anyway. But you can do that if you want, to be sure that you understand everything, okay? But you're good otherwise. You're fine, okay? All right. We're going to announce our number to call if you have a question one more time. The number to call if you have a question is 424-552-1299 and press 1. On your telephone keypad, if you have a question, 424-552-1299 and press 1 if you have a question. Online, guys, do you have any questions I can answer, guys? We checked on there, or should we end it right now? Okay. No questions online? Okay. You guys got it? All right. It looks like we have no questions online. Although I have my helpers answer your questions online as I'm doing the Freedom Hour. So, yeah, there's no more questions for you guys to answer. So you can ask questions that way. One more time. There's a caller just called in. No, 3 callers. I don't see them. I don't see your numbers. They're there. They're not there. All calls have been terminated. Unless you see a new person calling. Yeah, I see no callers. You get a number to call if you have a question. Last call for questions is 424-552-1299 and press 1. Okay, 424-552-1299 and press 1. Okay. Now we have 760 area code caller and the 559 area code caller. Okay. And a 208 area code caller just joined us as well. Okay. So let me write these numbers down. Okay. We're going to start from the 76 area code caller. Okay. And then we just had another person join from area code 321. Okay. 76 area code caller, you're next. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Yes, this is Craig. I'm the one that wrote that email letter. Sorry for all the questions, but you can see I've got a lot to deal with. I am a California resident. I was in 2022 when I spoke with Darlene and Kara, I think it was. But I'm still a California resident. And one of my main questions there to you was, as a federal worker or a federal retiree, which I am now, I just want to make sure that you clarify that we are not any different than anybody else as long as we are not a resident and not a citizen of Washington, D.C. I'm a resident. I live in California right now, and family's here, so an option for me is not leaving here.
Yep, you're fine. You don't owe the IRS or the state of California, but you may want to consider changing your address to someplace out of California, perhaps. You can have the option to do that. That you can do that as well if you choose to. That way, California will not bother you because you put your.
You're saying still live in California, but do another address.
Well, you can have a second address. Many retirees, what they do is this: they have address in Nevada, Texas, Tennessee, Florida, and they or New Hampshire or Alaska. They go to that state that they like. In summertime, they go to Alaska, which is nice there. Wintertime, they go to Florida or Texas, Arizona. Okay, so you can choose if you have two addresses that you can go back and forth. You can choose which one is your primary address. Okay, that's like Trump.
Right.
Trump was a New Yorker. He was born in New York, raised in New York, right? Built his empire in New York. But he bought Mar-a-Lago in Florida and got a taste of Florida. Found out, man, this is much nicer than New York. So he was going back and forth between New York and Florida. He eventually said, forget it. I'm going to make myself a Floridian and don't have to worry about New York paying New York state income tax. You can do the same if you choose to act the way Donald Trump did.
Well, that's something I'd have to discuss with you or your staff, I suppose. I do want to point out that when I spoke with Darlene or Kara back in 2022, I didn't want to sign anything at that time, and that's why I called them. But my understanding is at that time you thought that federal workers did have to, or retirees did have to file an income tax form.
Right. And I was mistaken on that.
Now that...
Let me address the issue for you. You're right. I did say that because I always want to be, if anything, extra cautious. And so I did not look at that issue as closer as I should have done initially. So that was my mistake. I admit that. But when I found out, oh, no, wait a minute. The only people that are going to pay income tax as far as federal workers is the ones that work in D.C. That's great. But I didn't want to mislead you saying you're fine and then find out that, oh, I got you in trouble. I didn't want to do that. I want to be cautious. Once I had the time to look at the law and research that issue closer, I said, okay, great. You're free. So that's why I said that. So you're right about that. So you are free. You do not need to pay any federal income tax whatsoever.
Even if you receive any money from the federal government, then,
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to make sure about
that. Is covered in step one video, the long video, the basic video, the long one. I'll cover that issue. Okay. I go over that section 187.
Which video is that?
I'll show you on my screen. If you go to film law school, our step one videos on the law, the more complete, longer videos, okay? The one that says the longer one, 99%, that's the longer video. If you watch that, that one covers those issues. Okay, it goes in more detail about
the issue about receiving a payment from the federal government too. Is that on that video?
It does cover that. Yes, it does. It covers section 871. I have it on my screen. Section 871 of the Internal Revenue Code covers the issue of you have income connected to the District of Columbia. If you do federal work in District of Columbia, you have to pay income tax on that per Section 871. Otherwise, you do not have to do so. Okay, so watch that video. Step one, the long video. Call my office. They'll guide you to that video if you want to, my friend, okay? They'll be happy to guide you to that long video.
And what about a Section 861? Any interest? Does any of that apply?
I haven't looked at 861 for a long time. I don't know. Do you get a huge amount of interest, like over $14,000 a year?
No.
Don't worry about it. It's not an issue.
Okay.
Because the minimum exempt amount is about $14,000 anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like even if it was, I looked at 861. Remind me, guys. I'm looking at Section 861 one of these days. I gotta get on that because most people do not make that much.
If I become a Restore Freedom Plan member, then you can help me with the state of California too. Is that correct?
Yes, we'll guide you on how you can handle the state of California and your options as well. It's more personal, custom made for your situation. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your help, Damon.
But the big thing is hold on, Bob. Your big thing, Craig, is the house you inherited. You want to sell that? Are you in escrow right now?
Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. No, that was back in 2022. 2 days later, after I spoke with Darlene and Kara on the 21st of June, we did sell the house on the 23rd. But my issue now is getting out of the fact that I signed that form because of what they had told me. That with 593 and the non-foreign status, whatever. I don't have it in front of me right now.
Right.
But what to do about that? And that's something that you can help me with. Then, right? If I become a Restore Freedom Plan member, is that correct?
If you join Restore Freedom Plan member, we can protect you for that year also.
Okay. Well, you've answered everything I can think of right now, and I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome, my friend. Thank you for calling, and thank you for keeping up with what's going on and staying in touch with us, Craig. We have now, let's see, we're going to go to area code 208, caller. You're live, my friend. Give us your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, heard about on YouTube. Question is, my wife and I are interested in, going for the program. I guess it's just, challenging for us to take the leap. Just because, you're risking potentially going to jail and there's a lot you're risking there, and it's something that's new. And I don't know. Is there anything that we can continue to do to get more and more comfortable such that we can get to the point where we can take that leap and move forward?
Well, the bottom line is that I cannot convince anybody of anything. Nobody can convince anybody of anything. We have to see it for ourselves. You have to see it and understand it, and with your own independent judgment, see what I'm telling you is the truth. The 7 steps that I show you at Freedom Law School's website, freedomlawschool.org, you have to verify that, number one, that we say follow the law. You are not required to file income tax. You have to verify that for yourself. Okay, so you're going to watch those videos. Listen to them as you drive around and watch them. Have you done that yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, then the next step 2 is, okay, do you see, step 2, that you put the rope around your neck when you sign with your wife the 10 for income tax confession trap form, and give that rope to the IRS to pull on it, because you say on there that you owe the IRS money. Do you see and understand that? That's how you put the burden of proof on yourself. That's how you end up owing them. And they take your bank account or paycheck, everything. Do you and your wife understand that part?
Yep.
Okay. Then you go to step 3. Because step 3 is a difficult one for many people, is a bluff that the IRS does. The bluff and deception. You got to understand how IRS is a Wizard of Oz, along with the major media, for decades, scaring you to believe, to be afraid of the Wizard of Oz. Okay? And with the brainwashing, accountants, CPAs, media, they all tell you, file and pay, file and pay, file and pay. You'll be in trouble. Don't. If you don't file, you go to jail. You go to jail. You go to jail. They take your stuff. It is repeated propaganda. So I got a feeling you need to study step 3 more. To see for yourself. You go in there, how they're in doing that. Have you seen a step 3 video where you see Hopper, the grasshopper, that says, and from a cartoon, I got a Bug's Life. Have you seen where he says, these ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever realize that, there goes our way of life. If we ever realize that there's way too many of us, not too many, there are very few of these incompetent, lazy IRS agents. If you recognize that, you'll be free. They're going to brainwash you to be afraid. Because it's not about money, it's about control. Once they control you, keep you in line, as Hopper says, they got you. So how much of step 3 have you studied? Have you watched Hopper say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch it again. Okay, because that's a big one. And you see, in step 3, go to step 7. Look, the numbers don't lie. According to the IRS, okay, back in 1996, there was what? 63 million Americans who did not file income tax confession forms. That's not me saying it.
That's like 10% of America.
Well, there's actually, out of every 3 Americans that work, 2 of them file 1040 forms, 1 of them does not. So 1/3 of Americans do not file income tax confession trap forms. Right there. And that's not me. That's IRS's own best estimates where they say that. And then, you know, their computer systems are utter garbage. They try to update them since 1980s. They cannot do that. In fact, last week I had a Doge. Do you see my Freedom Hour last week? Where I put a video of this, the Doge computer expert that was assigned to help the IRS update the computers. He found out all the managers in charge of their computers, none of them is a coder. None of them knows computer code. Can you believe that? It's like putting a roofer in charge of electricity wiring of a house to update it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to watch that video. See that these guys are a bunch of incompetent, lazy, disorganized, irresponsible communists. No one owns the federal government. These IRS employees are just collecting a paycheck. It's just a job. It's just a living. They will be in business no matter how incompetent, corrupt they are. You cannot fire them, the bad employees. You just transfer them to another part of the government or agency to get rid of the problem from your department to some other department. Did you see that last week? I covered that. We're going to put that on our website, by the way. You know, that stuff. You guys remind me. You really got to put it on step 3. This is it. Yeah, we put it on the screen. Yeah, my guy. Here it is. The Dodge Insider drops bombshell. IRS Compliance Slavery Division in complete chaos behind closed doors. Watch that last week thing. So once you understand this stuff, and The other thing you need to understand is you will not go to prison if you do the petitions that we have you do. Because have you read our petitions?
Yeah, I know how to do it.
Okay. You saw in there, we tell the congressman, look, I'm going to show you the fraud of the income tax system. If I'm wrong, tell me, I'll pay my fair share of taxes. But I'm telling you, I declare to you that I do not owe any federal income taxes as a citizen of one of the 50 states. Since I'm not from Washington, D.C., I'm not a citizen resident of D.C., I don't owe any federal income tax. So stop the crooks in a deep state, IRS and DOJ and these crooked judges. Get rid of them. Or show me where I'm wrong. With that reliance on the law, as published on U.S. government's official legal website, you can't go to prison. Because you have to prove to a jury of 12 beyond the reasonable doubt that you knew and believed you are required to file income tax when you do not. And you show honestly, you have a record of saying, I don't owe income tax. And my belief is under law. So you're not going to go to prison. Have you seen Step 5 videos that explain that to you and your wife? Yes?
Yeah.
And you've seen the Step 4 videos of Freedom Law School that none of our students who came to us clean, without a pre-existing problem, stopped filing income tax with Freedom Law School has ever gone to prison, nor the IRS has levied their bank account or paycheck or taken their home or business. Have you gone through those victories? That history seen that also?
Yep.
Okay. So ask yourself,
gone through all the
where is your source of fear? Because the facts are there. So the only thing that can help you further give you that confidence is by watching those videos, read those stuff, to get that fear overcome with knowledge. It's like, think about a 4-year-old kid when you want to put him to sleep at night. He can't go to sleep. He says, there's a boogeyman in the dark over there. Mommy, daddy. You tell him, there's no boogeyman. The kid doesn't trust you. He says, no, there's a boogeyman there. You tell him there's no boogeyman. He still says, there's a boogeyman. So what do? You go open the door or turn a light on. Look for yourself. Do you see a boogeyman here? The kid looks. Sees no boogeyman?
Yep. No, I understand you.
Right? So you guys should turn a light on for yourself, okay? And your wife. Watch the videos together, read them together, and you'll have the confidence like our members have, like I have, my friend.
Here's a final question. Is it possible to connect with any past students that have gone through the program? We can just hear from their experience.
That can be arranged.
That can be arranged?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. What do you recommend for next steps?
Contact us, call us tomorrow, say, I'm ready to join. And, but really the biggest thing is, really...
What was that?
You gotta really, the biggest thing is watch the videos and go to the website to allay your fears. What's your biggest fear? What's your biggest concern specifically, you and your wife?
Just talking to past students that have gone through and just hear from their experience, and I think that social proof is just what we need.
Well, the biggest proof you have on that regard, rather than talking to one person, because that person could be fake, that person could be fraud, the person could be lying, okay? Better than that is actually going to our website, Step 4, take courage from our victories and see the actual victories of myself and our students. The documented victories, court paperwork victories. You see that. For myself and my students. That is indisputable. That's what you want to see. Actual documented victories are best. We just white out the person's name and have the proof documentation there for you to see for yourself. Okay? Do that first. And if necessary,
all right.
you can put in touch some testimonial. But the main testimonial is what? I'll tell you what the main testimony is. Who's this guy that called? Daniel. He said that the caller tonight. He said he hasn't filed for many, many years, and as a result, he's not heard from the IRS. So I'm telling you, IRS has been leaving our students alone. Since you saw in step 3, IRS has been crashing and leaving non-filers alone. Okay? I can show that on our website. We have that document we replaced. We got to put that document on. That chart is missing there. We took it up by mistake. We got to put that chart in there. Okay? The non-filer chart. Okay? We took it out of our website by mistake. I think that's what happened there. We have a chart that shows. Oh, here it is. I got it right here. No, it is here. So here it is on my computer screen. You see in step 3 that in 2017, IRS management decided to leave income tax non-filers alone. It's that's on our videos in step 3. Okay, and so they started coming after non-filers just a little bit this year. Very few. So most of the students that I'll give you, thank you. Yeah, but that chart is good too, okay? That I'll give you, these students will tell you, well, I've been a member, I'm doing fine. Haven't heard from the IRS. So they can tell you that. I mean, but actual victories, that means the IRS must come after somebody first. For us to challenge the IRS and beat them in court. Well, if the IRS doesn't come after our people, leaves us alone, how can I give you a victory example? But from the old years, I got the victory examples there for you. All right? Any other questions?
No, that's great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, my friend. My pleasure. All right. Let's see who we got left on the questions. We have the 559 area code caller and the 321 area code caller. Well, let's go to the 559 area code caller. See if he or she is there. 559 area code caller. Give me your first step. How you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Yes, sir.
Hello, Payman. My name is Tony, and I've heard about you through a YouTube interview you did. I can't remember the channel, but thanks for accepting the phone call. I have a couple of questions. So if we do not complete step 5, which, if I'm reading correctly, it's the part where we write the Congress, would that increase our chances of, would that increase my chances of going to prison? Because I don't plan on filing for income taxes next year, and I've been going exempt using the exempt packages that you have on your website. And that leads to my next question, which is I've just started a new job, and I've submitted the 16-page exempt package that you have on your website, and the leadership at that company is telling me that their payroll couldn't accept it because I didn't select a marital status, and I told them that I'm not. Maybe I shot myself in the foot by telling them, but I'm like, well, I'm not choosing a marital status because I don't plan on filing my taxes. So I don't know if what's going to happen tomorrow. They said that they tried again, but ultimately they said that their payroll was not like accepting it because I didn't choose that. So I would just like your input, please.
Well, first of all, you should do the step 5. In fact, I'm going to rearrange the 7 steps pretty soon. The step 5 needs to be maybe step 3, okay? Because it's so important for you to do. Okay, you must send those petitions to Congress because you're doing your part as a citizen to inform them to do the right thing, to clean up the corruption in the U.S. government, and at the same time, it protects you. because he makes a record, a written record of your innocence that you could show the jury just in case. You that one in a million they come after. Okay?
Does your website explain how to do that?
Yes. You can do it there for free if you want at freedomlawschool.org. If you have any questions, call my office at 813-444-4800. They'll guide you and answer your questions for free. Now, yes, you talk with your company, probably, possibly scared them, I don't know, but there was no need for that, okay? So I do not know what kind of a hole you dug for yourself by trying to wake up these brainwashed people about income tax in such a blunt way, okay? So, but the answer is really right there on the form, because IRS's W-4 form instructions do say that if you're going to put exempt, you do not need to fill out the section that talks about marital status. It says to leave it alone. So show these dummies the IRS's W-4 form instructions, where it says put exempt. It also says in that same area, do not fill out the section about marital status. Then ask them, look, I'm trying to follow the IRS's W-4 form instructions. You're not. You need to read the IRS's instructions on a W-4 form to follow it properly. What are they going to say to that? You're going to say, oh, gee, you're right. So that's what you need to do over there. Any other questions, Tony?
Okay. So I guess I'll just go from there, and if I have any further issues, I'll just call the Freedom Law School number that you gave right now. But thank you. You've answered my question so far. I guess it would lead me to my next question. Well, what if they just terminate me, but it is what it is. I'll just get another job.
They will not terminate you for that. I don't think so. No, don't worry about that. That doesn't happen. You may want to become a Restore Freedom Plan member, because one of the benefits you get along with that is that situation like this come up with the employer or the IRS. We'll be there to help you, guide you, and if necessary, we'll talk to your employer, okay, about this issue that, hey, we want to follow the law. One time, we talked to one of our students had this issue, and the lawyer of the company told the employer that, hey, he's let us about why he's doing this. It seems to be correct, but I'm going to tell you to withhold from his paycheck anyways. And we told the lawyer, look, you said we're right. You cannot pick on us. Then tell your employer to follow the law. Or give it to another lawyer that will give advice to the company. Even though you said we're right, well, it looks like we're right, but you say to withhold anyways. So we went around the lawyer and met with the owner, one of the two owners, and we straightened things out with him. So that may be necessary in your case also. Okay,
I appreciate that. I am trying to save up to purchase the membership, but thank you, Payman. You have a great one. And God
You're
bless
welcome.
You.
Listen, you right now, you're out of a job. Get a job right now. First thing, make anything right now, Tony. Get anything and in your pocket because you're in a bad shape right now. I got you. You have been out of a job. So do it for free. You don't need to join right now. I'm just trying to tell you, if you need that, that is available. But you should be able to handle that situation, Tony, by yourself, based upon what I just shared with you. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir. Have a good one.
You're welcome, my friend. Same with you. We're going to go now to the 321 area code caller. You're live, my friend, from area code 321. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Yes, my name is Shannon. I heard about you from my husband a couple years ago. I finally we both work for the same corporation in North Carolina. However, when we looked at our deduction. Security, which of course I know is not federal, but does the Social Security, do we still have that deduction in order to get Social Security payments? Or how does that work?
What you get out of Social Security legally has no relationship with what you put into it. It's a game. It's a shell game that Congress does to make you feel like, oh, I'm putting my money toward my retirement. But you're not. Your money by law has to be spent right away down the federal rat hole of corruption, waste, and criminality. They have to spend it. But they play this game that, oh, we put you...
$258 a paycheck.
Okay. Doesn't matter what the amount is. The point is...
So we should avoid it.
If you can't have the employer stop withholding from your paycheck, do that. Can you do that? If you can't, do it. But most employers don't listen.
How to avoid the Social Security?
It's not avoiding it. It's the issue the employers are brainwashed and believe they have to take it out of your paycheck. I don't have an easy answer for that. Sorry. They'll take it anyways, most employers.
How about state taxes? The state taxes were in North Carolina.
What about them? What about state of North Carolina? What's your question about it?
We just file for state taxes?
If you want, you can do that. North Carolina does follow the federal tax laws, but it is one of the more aggressive states. So some people choose to pay North Carolina because they don't want to just deal with that hassle. But some people don't. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Okay. Well, that makes sense. My second question is, how do we buy a house with a mortgage? Lenders require 2 years of tax returns.
You can buy a house without a tax return. And I got a video on that on my website on that, on our frequently asked questions. I think one of the questions we have is that, how to buy a house. Maybe because, it's always been that way. There's always been, especially small business owners, do not have tax returns, or they cheat on the tax returns. They actually make more than what the tax return shows. Okay, so but as you heard me earlier, talk to a caller. Okay, you don't want to buy a house right now, anyways. If you want to buy a house right now, Shannon, is that your goal?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah. So that answers your question. I would recommend you don't buy a house.
We're still saving the down payment.
Yes. Save the down payment in gold, silver, and Bitcoin.
Sounds good. We'll just keep saving.
Keep saving. Because you're going to get that dream house that you wanted.
My husband's a conspiracy theorist, and we definitely do that.
Well, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy fact kind of a guy. There's conspiracy theory. There's a conspiracy fact. Federal Reserve is privately owned. It's not a theory. It's a fact.
I was saying, I was talking about my husband.
All right.
Anyway, he's the one who got me interested in your law school, Freedom Law School. And it took a couple years, I was listening to Daniel and his concerns. Once you do it and you see the money that's coming back into your household and, 30% more of your money is coming back, you'll be happy. And we haven't had any issues. I've 2 years? Mm-hmm. No problems, no calls. Mm-hmm. And then I found out at work, there's a lot of people doing that at work, and they haven't filed in 10 and 15 years, and they're saying no.
Hold on. Wait. Say that again for everybody on the line. What did you just say about the coworkers? What did you say? You have coworkers haven't filed for 10 or 15 years, many of them?
No, they haven't been. either, not a bit. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going on that bandwagon.
And they're just fine. Exactly, just fine. Don't need to be afraid.
Yeah,
I
they're
hope
fine.
we had a caller asking about that. Let's see, who was that caller about that earlier? Was worried. I think his name, did I? The last caller. Hope you heard that, my friend, from Area 208. Okay, here's the proof for you. All right. Iris leaves non-filers alone for the most part, 99.9%.
So I'm not filing either.
Yep.
I'm exempt and not filing either. So thank you for your answers to my question. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Shannon. My pleasure. Okay, do you have any questions online? I'm going to call the number. Call a number. If people have more questions, you can ask right now. The number to call if you have a question is 424-552-1299. Press 1 on the telephone keypad to get your question asked. 424-552-1299 and press 1 on your telephone keypad if you have a question. Let's see, we have a couple of questions. Looks like online, right or no? Let's see. So security question we answered already. Okay. What about are federal tax liens legal? Well, federal tax liens, someone asking about the legal, well, the county recorder's offices, they consider them legal. Okay, so that's what really matters. So the best way to avoid tax liens is don't file a 10 for income tax confession form. Don't tell the IRS that you owe the money under oath. Okay, that's how you end up having these liens. Because you told them that you owe the money, and then now they're going to play a lien to maybe collect the money that you told the IRS that you owe them. So don't file that 1044, and very, 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 very likely you will have no tax liens to begin with. Okay? Another caller says, what do you think about investing in the stock market, and can your money invested to be garnished? Stock market is also another bubble, just like the real estate market. It's going to crash. How soon? 3 months? 2 years from now? I don't know. But it's at the near top. Okay, I would not be in the stock market if I was you. Okay, I would not be in Dow 30, Russell 2000, any of those things. I would not even play indexes because they're ripe for going down. When you get something safe and predictable as gold, silver, Bitcoin, why mess around with risk of stock market? Right? And can your money be garnished? Of course, can your stock market, your stocks be garnished by the IRS? Of course. So don't confess that you owe the IRS money. That's the way to don't have your stocks garnished. Don't tell the IRS you owe the money. Because that's how they get you. They deceive you into saying under oath on the 1040 form that you owe the IRS money. And then they say, well, pay. Pay. You said you owe us money. You did it yourself on the 1040 form. Pay us, come on. We will take your money now from your bank account, paycheck, stocks. That's how they do it, because you allow them to do it. Okay? Another question says, this person's what's the question we got here? Filed the IRS for years, Irwin shift material. When they locked up Irwin and lock and rolls, I threw in the towel. Federal tax lien, ex-filed for divorce, and the mafia came to our settlement table. Okay? Well, hold on, brother. Irwin Schiff didn't let me help him. He was a friend of mine. I loved Irwin Schiff. He's a pioneer. He's like a father to me. But he didn't listen to his son, me. I went from California to Las Vegas where Irwin Schiff lived. And 12 Irwin led me and all the top guys in the movement help you win your criminal case. IRS is after you. Your win is our win. He's responsible, sadly. Nah, they don't have a case against me. Why am I going to tell somebody who's like my father's age that he's wrong? You know, I have respect for elderly, you know, people, my parents' age generation. What can I tell them? Larkin Rose, I contacted Larkin Rose in early 2000 years. His picture was on the USA Today ads of We the People Foundation. Let's work together. He was not interested in my help or working with me in any way. He was charged criminally. I wasn't. I was at his trial. Tried to help him. Found that, man, this guy's not prepared. He's going to go to jail, and sure enough, he got convicted. He thought he knew what he was doing. He didn't want to listen and learn from others. He lost. Why did you not call me? Why, for Freedom Rider, and not contact Freedom Law School? I was around in 2,000 years, along with Irwin Schiff and Larkin Rose. So you don't have to throw in a towel anymore, brother. Get out. Get out of Egypt. Get out of slavery. You can do it now. Do it right. Because you know I've done it since 1992. Over 33 years already. Never been to jail. Never filed and paid income taxes. So you just fall, sorry, the wrong people. So hopefully you get in touch with me now. Call my office tomorrow for Freedom Rider, okay? Call Freedom Law School, 813-444-4800, and let's get you be free, brother, okay? All right. Any other comments online? Paymo didn't answer the question of what? What question? Please let us know what percentage of assets should be held in. Okay, all right. Generally speaking, I would say if you want a percentage, I would say put 20% in silver, 40% in gold, 40% in Bitcoin. If you want to ask a percentage, more accurate number, I would say yeah. I would say 20% silver, 10 to 20% silver, about 40% gold, and then 4% Bitcoin. And maybe you want to get silver a little bit less and get maybe a little bit of Ethereum, or maybe 5% less silver and get maybe 5% Ethereum or XRP perhaps, to take a little chance at it. But it depends how much you got. You got only 20,000 or 200,000 or 20 million. You know, so part of it is also that. Okay, hope that helps you. Okay, now let's see if we have another question anymore. That's it. No more calls. Okay, brothers and sisters, I love you all. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule and hear me rant and rave, okay? I'll try to share whatever wisdom I got with you to help you live free, because I love you all to be free. Together we can be free. You can have your life the way you want it, because your money, your hard work. Take our country back, America back, for you and me, your children, my children, our grandchildren. So all I can invite you to do is to further go to freedomlawschool.org, go through 7 steps, watch the videos, call us if you have a question, 813-444-4800. We'll help you answer questions at no charge. And tell your friends, co-workers about us. Okay, remember, call us or go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and we send these brochures free of charge. Fast track your success, restore freedom, lawfully and safely, pay no income or payroll taxes with 100% guarantee, and restore freedom, follow the law. Okay? Restore your power and freedom. Regain it. You can be free and get this to anybody you know. Put it in your dentist's office, chiropractor office, mechanic's offices. Leave it there on the table for people to pick up, and we'll pay you. I'll pay you if you put your name and number here, or the private number we'll give you. Someone joins our Restore Freedom plan, I'll pay you. Cash, gold or crypto. Yes, for referring somebody to us. Okay, you can make good money doing this, folks. I got my students referring other people, make good money. One guy referred another guy, made $70,000. That's right, 70000. Because we referred a friend that joined. You do the same. Just open your mouth and love people. And don't be afraid of people being scared, telling you, I'm not interested. You're going to go to jail. I'll bring you a rope on the soap. You know, they'll take your bank accounts and paycheck. Folks, those are just people that are afraid. That's all it is. It's not you, it's them. So keep going to new people, give them material, invite them to read, and one of these days they'll come around. Just like this woman says that 2 years ago her husband turned on to us, Shannon. She started looking at us and said, oh man, you guys are right. So keep loving people with the truth. Give them our website, freedomlawschool.org, or our brochures, and let's go out there. Have you be free? Have your family and friends and community be free. Have America be free and prosperous once again. Thank you for being with me. Good night.